Brothers and sisters, thank you for taking a few minutes to watch this little training idea that I have decided to share with you. I hope you're enjoying this new year as you've begun to teach the Book of Mormon in seminary. As I began pondering what I would do if I were back in the seminary classroom, what would I do if I had the opportunity to teach every day in the seminary classroom this year with the Book of Mormon, I wondered what I would do. And here's a thought that I had. I imagine some of it maybe you've already done somewhat in your classroom, but then I'll give another idea at the end. But I imagine that as you've introduced the Book of Mormon to your students, perhaps you've shared some prophetic promises with them from our prophets. I'm going to just share a few with you here. This first one comes from President Benson, where he said, "There is a power in the book which will begin to flow into your lives the moment you begin a serious study of the book. You will find greater power to resist temptation. You will find the power to avoid deception. You will find the power to stay on the straight and narrow path. The scriptures are called the words of life, and nowhere is that more true than it is the Book of Mormon. When you begin to hunger and thirst after those words, you will find life in greater and greater abundance." A little closer to our time period here, President Hinley said this. You'll remember this from his Ensign article in August 2005, when President Hinley said, "Brothers and sisters, without reservation, I promise that if you will prayerfully read the Book of Mormon, regardless of how many times you previously have read it, there will come into your hearts an added measure of the Spirit of the Lord. There will come a strength and resolution to walk in obedience to his commandments, and there will come a stronger testimony of the living reality of the Son of God." And then even more recent from President Nelson, just a couple of years ago, President Nelson said, "My dear brothers and sisters, I promise that as you prayerfully study the Book of Mormon every day, you will make better decisions every day. I promise that as you ponder what you study, the windows of heaven will open, and you will receive answers to your own questions and direction for your own life. I promise that as you daily immerse yourself in the Book of Mormon, you can be immunized against the evils of our day, even the gripping plague of pornography and other mind-numbing addictions." And so here's just a sample. There's other prophetic promises out there, and I imagine you've shared some of those with your classes. But as I thought, what would I do with these in my classroom? I thought, you know what? I wouldn't just share these once and be done with them. I wouldn't just do it at the introduction. Here, we're in our first week. We're going to talk about what the prophets have said and then never mention them again. But I think I'd revisit them. And so every now and then, likely not every day, but every now and then in your class, take some time and revisit these prophetic promises and others that you've shared with your students, and then ask your students if they've seen these fulfilled in their lives as they study the Book of Mormon this year. And then have them share that with each other in the class, have them write it in their journals, and have them intentionally looking for these promises to be fulfilled in their lives. Because I promise you, and I believe, and I know from my own experience that these promises do ring true, and that as I study the words of God, particularly the Book of Mormon, I have those blessings that the prophets have promised. And I think if we will help our students, give them some time to ponder on that and to intentionally look for it in their life, they will see those same promises, and it'll be a great blessing to them. Again, thanks for watching. Thanks for all you do in the classroom and outside the classroom in all your preparations. And I hope that you have a great week and a great day. Thanks again.